Ahed's Knee focuses on an Israeli filmmaker known as Y, who throws himself in the midst of two battles doomed to fail, one against the death of freedom, the other against the death of a mother. This is written and directed by Lapid, whose other films I'm not all that familiar with, but they have received critical acclaim, and after premiering at Cannes 2021, where it shared the jury prize with Memoria, it had a limited theatrical release in March, followed by a VOD release in May. And it's a film that blends an introspective character drama about the art of filmmaking, which are the sort of films I generally really enjoy, along with having a slight political thriller edge to it. Here you have Y, who's a beloved filmmaker on his way to a screening of one of his films, but the event's also organized by a woman named Yahalom, who's also part of Israel's Ministry of Culture, who Y holds contempt for due to their censoring of filmmakers and other artists. And for much of the film, it's Y attempting to grapple with his frustrations while trying to be able to express his appreciation for the craft of filmmaking. And it does so in a mostly quiet, restrained approach. If you've ever seen auteur films of the 60s like Fellini's 8½, there are some similar vibes to this. Now, I generally do appreciate films that act as an ode to the arts due to their general celebratory feel, and I also appreciated how this film injects some social commentary regarding systemic pushback and not hindering the creative types. It's a film that has something meaningful to say, and it wears that on its sleeve, and while it doesn't dig quite as deep with that as it possibly could have gone, I still commend the film for its observations and found it to be fairly engrossing at times. What also helps too is that there is a clear sense of style, with some slick POV shots that tried heightening the experience at several points by trying to really get us in our lead's headspace. While I'm not all that familiar with Lapid's other movies, if they're anything like this from a visual standpoint, I'm looking forward to checking them out. However, while this will have its audience in more art house circles, I ultimately wasn't 100% on board with this, as I just never found myself completely liking our protagonist. Now, I'm sympathetic to his plight, and it makes for a strong message throughout the film, but when you get down to his general demeanor, he's mostly a cold, emotionally disconnected individual. And while he makes a lot of great points about artistic expression, it becomes very clear the most he's ever consistently engaging anyone otherwise is when they fawn over his work, or if they live up to one of his general standards. Like in one moment when he meets the fan of his from the Ministry of Culture, he has her just start name-dropping classic cinema in order to impress him. And because of that, the film felt less like an actual ode to filmmaking and more like a self-serving exercise for this narcissistic protagonist. So I felt like a little bit between being a rock and a hard place, because as much as I liked what the film had to say, I just did not care much for this guy otherwise. So it was hard to be invested too much whenever we would jarringly shift to some of his more personal endeavors. And given how our other main character is from this organization that suppresses artists, and there's a lot of conflict that stems from that, it really left me without feeling like there was anyone to root for. And it makes Ahed's Knee a commendable enough film, but one that felt more on the emotionally hollow side. While the film has a strong enough message, it shifts from its social commentary aspects to its more personal character study material, gets muddled due to not having any compelling central characters, and while its themes and its message might be enough for some, it just didn't work completely for me. Ahed's Knee gets a 5.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Ahed's Knee, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the story, and what's a good movie with a message that you've seen? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.